Welcome back, guys. It's been a weird couple of weeks here. For a couple of weeks after the last video, it's been raining on and off every couple days, and so we've mostly just been working in the shop, doing some maintenance and stuff, changed some oils and stuff on the windrower, and got the baler greased up and net wrap changed out and everything ready to go, so that we're ready to do hay. We were also waiting for it to dry off so that we could start spraying our corn post-emerge chemical, which is what I'm doing right now. So on Friday, we were able to start that. It was dry enough and hot enough. That was the other problem with the last couple weeks, is pretty cold, kind of 50s, 60s, which I actually love that temperature. It feels great, but for spraying, you want it to be warm. That way the weeds are trying to grow when they get the chemical in them, and it kills them better. So it's too cold to be spraying and too wet too. So Friday we started spraying kind of late morning, and I sprayed all day Friday. I sprayed all day Saturday, which is yesterday, and I've been spraying all day today. And I got the rest of this field and then a 40 to do, and I'm done with our corn spraying for the year. So it's been a busy couple days. I haven't even taken any video because I gotta steer manually when doing corn post. Can't use auto steer, so it's hard to talk to a camera. And then Dad's been cutting hay. He did a little bit Friday night, and then did everything else on Saturday throughout the day, and got all the hay cut. And then today Rick was raking. He raked a small patch that's at our house. He raked our 30-acre field. And then he raked his patch. He's got like a 10-acre, I think, patch of hay. There's a small patch for the neighbor, and he got that raked today. And then we got one more patch to rake that's custom, and he's gonna start that tomorrow whenever the dew's off in the morning. Dad actually just got left here. He just dropped me off my last load for the day. He's going back home, and he's gonna start baling at home. He's gonna do our small patch. We got like a little 2-acre strip of alfalfa at home, alfalfa and grass. He's gonna get that baled tonight yet, and then we're gonna start on our big 30-acre field tomorrow. So anyway, I'll get back to you guys tomorrow once we're baling hay. I'm out here baling. Dad did a little bit last night. As you guys can see from the drone footage, we actually did come over to our 30-acre field last night too, and got started here. We actually went for quite a while. The thing is, it's gonna rain tonight and tomorrow, and so we really want to get all of our hay baled today, no matter what. And this field was a lot drier than we expected it to be yesterday already. So we decided to get started yesterday already. And everything seemed to work pretty good, other than I started out using that new flag wrap. It's really good wrap. It's really strong. The problem is it's so strong that our baler can't cut through it very good. We had a lot of bales. Every few bales, the wrap would just keep wrapping. The net knife couldn't cut through the wrap for whatever reason, or maybe it doesn't have enough tension on the cutter to get through it. We're not really sure. We're gonna see if we can get some settings changed on the baler to get it to work. So last night, after we made a couple rounds and that wasn't working very good, we switched over to our New Holland wrap again, and that's what I'm using right now. And I think on our next cutting, or maybe when we do waterways here, I'm gonna try using that stuff again. Because like I said, it seems like it's really good wrap. It's just something with our baler doesn't want to cut through it. And it cuts through this stuff just fine, and I think it's just because it's not as strong. So anyway, we're using that for now. I'm just about done with this 30-acre field. We got most of it done last night. There's a couple rounds we left. It's starting to get tough. So once I'm done here, I'm gonna head over and do Rick's 10-acre patch. And then I got a couple patches of custom to do. And then that'll really be about it. We got a big chunk of it done last night. So anyway, let's get all this hay wrapped up. All right, my roll of net wrap just ran out, so I'll show you guys how I change that. A lot easier when the wind isn't blowing so hard. It kind of sucks today. Stuff's trying to blow around in the net wrap and everything, but otherwise it's pretty easy. Okay, I got all the hay baled. We're working on picking some of these up now. Got our 2 bale racks behind me. I'm on the 1256 right at the moment, hauling them in. We don't normally use this tractor to haul them in, but we don't really have much else to hook on it. Usually we'll use like our 240, our planter tractor, but the 240 is still hooked on the planter at the moment, and we haven't gotten that unhooked yet. And the other things we would use is like the 7140, of course, but that's on the baler. We don't really want to unhook that. Or the 7110, but that's on the windrower. We don't want to use that. So it's kind of what we got. We're gonna get our 30-acre field picked up, and the rest of the stuff we don't have to worry about. So should be able to get that done tonight, no problem. Well, it's always something. Just picking up bales at the 1256. Oh, I'm about to lose my hat. Let me flip that backwards. It's really windy today. Picking up bales at the 1256, and it doesn't seem to be making any power. It's weird. I killed it a couple times trying to take off, and even if you put it in a really low gear and really ride the clutch to try and get it to go, it doesn't want to take off. And even when you're in neutral, clutch in and everything, you know, try and give it throttle, and it just seems like it won't get its RPMs up. It was weird. So we're thinking maybe the fuel filters are plugged on it, which, to be honest, who knows the last time we put fuel filters on that thing. So we're thinking maybe that's what's the problem. So anyway, we got Dad's pickup hooked onto the bale racks now. We can't pull two full loads with the pickup, but I think we might switch over to one rack. I did get 17 bales home with it, and that worked all right, but I think we're gonna unhook a rack and pick up the rest of the bales with the pickup. The rest of them in that field are gonna go to the neighbor's place. He's buying some from us. So I guess we'll get things finished up with the pickup. At least this thing has air conditioning. All right, we ended up pulling with 2 trailers, just making a little bit smaller loads. We're only pulling about 15 bales per load instead of the 22 like we normally do, and we're gonna be able to make it in 3 loads. It is a lot of weight for this truck, but it did pull it, so we'll keep doing this here a little bit and we'll see. All right, I got a bit of a surprise for you guys. Take a look at this. It's a 1995 Ram 3500, 24 valve Cummins, and the best part is, of course, the 5-speed. So my dad used to work for the guy who owned it. Hasn't really been using it for years. It's kind of just been sitting in the shed. They used to use it a little bit, but he's decided it's time to get rid of it. I love these trucks, the Cummins and the 5-speed and everything. They're just awesome. So I decided to buy it. Like I said, Dad was driving it years ago when he worked for him in high school and out of high school. So anyway, I thought this would be a nice work truck to have around. Probably just make it into kind of a work truck, maybe like a service truck a little bit. It's got quite a big bed on it. I think it's like a 10-foot bed or something. I'll have to measure for sure, but I think it's actually a little bit bigger than like your standard 8-foot bed. And it's got a pretty long wheelbase on it too. And the story on this truck is it used to, back in the day, pull Jetco trailers. You can see they're made in Humboldt, Iowa. Jetco is. This truck had a 5th wheel plate on it like a semi, and then up here you can see it's got glad hands for a semi, and it used to pull the empty brand new empty trailers and deliver it to people. So that's what this truck did originally, and the guy my dad worked for bought it to use to obviously it's got a 5th wheel ball on it now, and they pulled like their 5th wheel trailers and stuff with it and used it as a work truck. They did kind of some tiling and excavating and a little bit of construction work and stuff. So it was a nice work truck for them. So we'll be working on this in some of the videos in the future here. I want to maybe put a fuel tank on the back of it, maybe some extra toolboxes. It's got some great big toolboxes down here already, but might get some up here that are a little easier to reach into for actual tools. And needs some new tires. Tires are about shot on it. And the main thing is it does need some clutch work. Right now you can't, once it's warmed up, you can't get it into gear when you're at a stop without shutting the truck off, stick it into gear, push the clutch in, start it, and then you can take off and go and you can float the gears like a semi. So anyways, I don't think the clutch itself is necessarily shot. He did have a clutch for it, so we got the clutch for it. We might put it in anyway, but I think that there's something to do with maybe the slave cylinder on the clutch, or maybe a linkage. We're not really sure yet, but we got a friend that's pretty good at stuff like this, so he's gonna help us get the transmission and stuff going on it. Maybe needs a little power steering work and brakes and stuff. Just got it power washed off, and it really is in pretty good shape. There's very minimal rust on it. There is a little bit like on the rockers and stuff, of course, but like the fenders aren't all bubbled out or anything yet. And even the interior is relatively clean. There's of course, rip in the seat from going in and out, and I haven't washed any of the inside yet. I gotta pull floor mats out and vacuum and everything. But otherwise, it is relatively clean in here. And this right here is actually your controller for the air brakes for on the semi. And this is just a two-way radio, old two-way, but this is your control valve. And this up here was your controls for your air compressor to run it. Then here's an electric brake controller for a gooseneck. So anyway, I think this should make a pretty good work truck.